Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, it's so nice to see you, to feel your energy. It has been a while, it feels like. My goodness. But you know what? At the same time, it's like every day goes by so quickly. I cannot believe we are already halfway through the year. That doesn't even seem right. Like I can't even compute that. So, Scorpio, welcome. Today we have the Princess of Cups to begin our reading. This is kind of like when you walk into a room and the atmosphere just kind of hits you. It can be so many different things. Like you're walking into a cute little like Italian restaurant. The lights are dim. There's a lot of heavy fabrics and it smells so good. Garlic and basil and oregano and all the good stuff. And that is a full atmosphere, right? That's a full sensory experience. So the card that I choose, or I pull, it chooses me really, kind of sets the tone. Like what does this room we're walking into feel like? Now, when we have the Princess of Cups, we know the princess is, or at least you can assume, probably younger than the king and queen, less refined at this point, still learning, right? So in relation to the cup, which is all about the waters, the emotional, creative, that thing that you need to bring life, right? We don't just need the fire, we also need the water. And so we know we have somebody here, or we have an energy of, working on maybe your emotional output, your reactions, coping mechanisms. Maybe you are beginning a relationship. Maybe you are, beginning a chapter in your life where you are really coming into it very intentionally. But this is a great card. It's a great card to see. And actually, I love it. I've been doing some really, really deep and difficult shadow work recently. And it has been very emotional. I'm very much focused on the inner child healing. And that's the real difficult place for me. So I see this card and I say, you know what? Give me a little of that energy because I need it right now. Okay, let's see. We're going to lift this up. We're going to take a look. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. If you are new to tea leaf readings in general, welcome. I'm so excited that you're a curious person, that you are willing to try something that maybe you've never seen or heard of. Maybe you have and you've never had the chance to see. But it is so wonderful to have you here. And if you are a returning Ula tea leaf reading appreciator, witness, thank you so much for coming back. It's so nice to see you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And now I have a different setup back here, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be kind of sitting and moving around here. I got some stuff for soundproofing that is supposed to help the quality of audio. I've heard that it does sound better, but you'll just have to bear with me as I get used to it. Okay, so here's the deal. It feels like we have two people over here. We have one here, okay? Now, it feels like this person is in a stance of being quite protective of this other person right here. Like maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child, somebody that you care about. But then over here, we have what feels like, honestly, if a person could be a spider, and we're not talking about like the grandmother, right? The dream weaver. I'm talking about somebody who is predatory, right? Somebody who you have to watch out for. And I almost kind of wonder if this is a situation where you have kind of raised the alarm. You're like, okay, if this is like, say, for example, your daughter that you're protecting, and she brings home some person that, maybe it has like very little to do with who they are, their personality and all that, but you just know. You can't put your finger on it exactly, but this is not a good person to be in my kid's life, right? And so how do we go about protecting them? I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet with my daughter, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to act like I love every person she brings home that I just absolutely don't like, because my daughter does the opposite of if I like something, she doesn't. If I say, ew, that's gross, she loves it. So, but I almost feel like this is a situation where you raised the alarm. You tried to stand in the way of it, as best you could. And yet they still found out, right? They messed around and they found out this is a person who not only seems off-putting, but they actually really are quite vile. And that's what I feel. It feels like just a villain, okay? So I see you really having to stand up here in this next period of time to really help shut this down. I don't know if this is like where you got to intervene, you got to, get in the middle of things and say, listen, stop showing up. Or, if it goes further than that, even up into like having to get like a protective order or something like this. But I do know that I feel like there will be closure here, and it will be in your favor. I feel that this is like a person that they're a big talker, big, whatever, strong. I'm not going to say it's a dude. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's also a woman, because women can be like this too. I know that I have found myself being this person at times where I'm the messy one. I'm the one that people are like, and a lot of it has to do with this desire, right? I feel like it's almost like a codependency, right? Laying it on too thick, being too demanding, just almost like maybe kind of obsessive, jealous, that kind of stuff, right? And you might say, I've never been that person. Well, I have. I definitely have. Not often. It's happened once or twice in my life. But, it is something that if you've been on either side of it, you know that it's something that is exhausting, it's stressful, and it really just ends up depleting everybody involved. It is not love. It is not even really a desire besides to fill some kind of, lacking place in yourself. And I think that you know all of this. But this is what can also make certain people dangerous, right? Is that desperation. Or even the feeling entitled to other people, really. I mean, to their time, to their physicality, their resources, all that kind of stuff. So I do feel like there is going to be a situation where you really have to step in and kind of, block communication. Now, this goes both ways, as well, because whoever you are protecting, they are under the spell of this person. So even if you do everything you can to get them out of there, to keep them apart, to make sure the crummy boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, right, ends up, I forgot what I was saying exactly, but basically the gist is the person you're protecting might also be, they're enchanted, right? So they might also be reaching out and you don't even know about it, right? We see this a lot with people. You break up, you go back and forth, you start to heal a little bit, and then you have that impulse, I want some kind of attention. I don't even care if it's negative attention, and here we go again, right? So just be aware of that as well. We can't make people do anything, but we can definitely show up for our loved ones when they need us. Okay, let's see. Okay, it looks like we have like a camel right in here, and we have 2 people riding. We also have 3 people. 1, 2, 3. We also have the sun. We have a person down here who looks like they're going for a little stroll. And also, I see the UI or IU. And to me, it feels so much like a strong bond. A strong bond. Now, I feel like you have your family. You have your people, you travel with them through life. You are on this road together, on this journey together. But you also have this whole other world, okay? And it is probably mostly interior, and I think it's also spiritual. Within this realm, I believe that you have a profound love for another being that is outside of your family. So I'm going to say this in a nice way, and I'm not judging, right? It is not your spouse. If you have a spouse or, a significant other, this is not them. This is most likely, and I feel like I'm picking up on anima animus. This is like the balancing archetype within self. So I was born biologically a woman. I've basically lived my whole life, right, as a woman. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I only feel like a woman, because listen, we all are masculine and feminine and all of the many archetypes, and some of those are gendered, some are not, and so on. So we really do contain it all. Right? And so basically, if you are looking for the anima or the animus, and this is kind of an outmoded way of looking at it, because our concepts of, gender identity has changed quite a bit since Jung wrote about this. But the idea is so I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. I feel as a woman. And within me, I would have an animus, right? So a masculine or male counterpart. You can think of the Vedic gods and goddesses, how they always, this is their counterpart. This is their consort. It is another aspect of them. So we think of Shiva and Kali, right? This beautiful couple. They are one and the same. They are feminine, masculine aspects of self, right? So I feel like you have a great belovedness for what anima, animus, whatever it is that you have, a relationship within your spiritual landscape, okay? And I feel like that is really profound for you. Now, you might not realize that this is what it is. And I'm not saying you're oblivious or naive, but sometimes we'll dream of like a certain person coming to see us over and over again, or we're, meeting with them, we're journeying with them. And maybe it's not a person you've ever met in the real world, or maybe it is. Maybe it looks like them, but you can feel and, follow me here a little bit. In dreams, sometimes we see something as a certain way, but we feel the impression is different. So it might show up as like, your best friend from kindergarten, right? But it feels like, your dad or something. And like, okay, this is my father, but for some reason I'm perceiving this as like a good friend of mine, right? So I feel that at times this can almost kind of be difficult for your heart. And I'm just going to be real. Sometimes our exterior relationships do not live up to the want and desire we have within our internal relationships. Okay? And you might think that is wildly wild, Lenor. Like, what does that even mean? Some people who are doing spiritual alchemy or self-development or Jungian work or individuation, whatever it is, you come to a place within your interior work where you find yourself in the chapel of the chemical marriage or union, right? And this is the union of opposites, the moon and the sun coming together to bore the star. And this is our union with the anima or the animus. And, that is a profound event in our lives, if we ever even get to that. But in comparison to things happening in our physical world, in the material world, it might make everything else seem a little less flavorless. Like, you're having these big emotional currents of love and desire and fulfillment and growth and inspiration and all the things. And here you have a family that you're taking care of, or you're aging and your body's slowing down, and so is your partner's, and you just don't feel the exact same huge courageous tsunami of love and emotion you might feel in those spiritual places, right? Within our spiritual containers. And so I do feel like this doesn't cause conflict, but what it does do is it inspires us to live more truly, to live more authentically, because we can manifest that same love in our physical world. And what self-evolution does, what self-work does, spiritual alchemy, individuation, it allows us to clear away some of that old stuff, our old pains, our old wounds, our misunderstandings, our conditionings and all of this that might strain our relationships or our relationship with life in general, right? And as we process and integrate, this allows for us to live a better life, to have better relationships, to go deeper with people. So I feel like this is your key right here, right? You are figuring out in your own way, because it's different for each of us, but you are figuring out how to bring this into your waking life. Now, we also have the word dad, D-A-D, okay? It could also be the name Dan, D-A-N, but I think it's dad, most likely. We also have a flamingo. I don't know if dad was really into flamingos, or maybe he went to go live in Florida, or I'm not sure, but something to do with flamingos and a father figure of some kind, or a dude named Dan. All right, let's see. Ooh, we have the griffin. We have that D again. So I do feel like there is travel coming up for you. I think you're going to go somewhere where you will unite with people you feel very close with. Here is your camp. Here is their camp. Now, we have dolphins, 2 of them. So I know that your friends are psychic, very psychic. Clairvoyant, maybe mediumship, maybe a healer or healers. I feel like you fit right in with them. So I'm assuming that you must be quite psychic yourself. I don't know if this is like a formal group of people or if this is like a family, part of your family, or friends that you've made along the way and you kind of have become family. But I do feel that there will be some travel and you go and meet up with your people. And I feel like this is going to be maybe the highlight of your year. It maybe isn't even something that seems that exciting right now. It might even be just like a little afternoon together. But I do feel like you are going to connect on such a deep level. And in that connection, there is a word. There's a word that is going to stand out to you in conversation. Maybe it's like on a billboard. Maybe it's in a book. I don't know. But it is trying to get through to you. And it will shine. I mean, maybe not visually, right? But maybe in your mind's eye, you will know. And that is a word I want you to write down on a piece of paper. And I want you to keep it in your purse or your wallet or with you. Wherever you're traveling around, put it, sometimes, and I do a talisman so I don't lose them. Because if I put them in my purse, good riddance, because that thing is gone forever. Have a happy journey wherever you're going, because I'm not going to find you. I put them under the sole of my shoe. And like that, not the sole, what is the insert, right? That thing that lifts up in your shoe, right? You put it underneath there. Now, don't fold it too thick because that would be uncomfortable. But so I want you to take that word, whatever it is, keep it with you while you're traveling, okay? It's going to help you find that doorway that ultimately that's where it's headed, right? Okay, let's see. We're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 98 is our first. 39. 61. 61. All right. And then we'll do our indigo sage affirmation cards. I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. We'll take a look. Beautiful. We have number 21, miracles, self-healer. Trust that every unwanted condition can be returned to natural well-being. Trust every condition, unwanted condition, can be returned to natural well-being. Yeah. But also, please see doctors. If you have the opportunity, if you have the great privilege of medical care or access to it, and it is a privilege. If you live in America, you know that. It's hard, it's expensive, it's, it takes time to get into anywhere. It's just, it's a lot. So it is a privilege, very much, to have any access. But if you, listen, I'm all about self-healing. Absolutely. And as much as I tell people that they should, if you think something is not right or you're feeling weird or whatever, if it's just like general malaise or whatever it is, go get checked out. You never know what's going on. But I say this, I barely will. I'll go to my yearly. My 2 yearlies. And then, other than that, if I'm not on, death's door, it's good luck, right? So, take it with a grain of salt. But I will say, yes, absolutely. The universe heals, it provides. We can heal ourselves. There are many different ways to do that, but also there is Western or modern medicine, right? And that is a tool as well. So, don't abandon. Don't abandon it. All right, let's see. I think that's it. All right. Well, Scorpio, I love you. I thank you for being here. And if you would be so kind, if you want to anyways, if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Tell me what you're doing for the solstice. It's coming up quick. My goodness, it is coming up so quick. My daughter is out of school soon. I'm looking forward to the summer. Oh my gosh. I'm always like, oh, it's going to slow down a little. No, it doesn't. It never slows down. But at least there will be some sunshine out there, right? All right. Well, Scorpio, I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night.